So we're just off Christmas break. Patrick's back from Colorado, hadn't had many balls, and we haven't done anything with him in a while, and so we're just going to have him hit some shots. We're going to look at some TrackMan numbers and
see what happens.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, this is our quest. If you missed the first video, we're working to hopefully someday get me down to about a scratch level. I'm around a 20 handicap now, and it's a long process, but it's been a lot of fun. So.
And if he's getting 20 shots, he'd be a good partner.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to work on is getting more shallow again. I've noticed my path's really getting, as I've worked on this, it's been good, but I'm still like really getting left with it. So it'd be kind of nice to neutralize it a little bit.
That was better.
Yeah. Overall, I've been hitting well whenever I go to the range or work on a simulator. Mm-hmm. Right there. Yeah, -9, that's real left, huh?
Real left, yeah.
Yep.
Swing direction's -12.
Yeah, so that's way across.
So it is. But yeah. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good things. I mean, this is big improvement here.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you were always zero
yeah.
attack angle with your irons before, so now that we're starting to get to -5
yep.
on attack angle, that means you're creating lag that you're not flipping.
Absolutely, yeah.
One of the things that TrackMan, attack angle and low point distance are kind of the same thing. Mm-hmm. You can see they're pretty close. They're an inch off. So your low point that time's 3.6 inches after the ball.
Sure.
So that means you're hitting the ball and then your divot's going to be 4 inches
that's
long.
Great.
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So that's big improvement.
Absolutely.
Now, you can create that attack angle a couple ways. You can either do it with forward shaft lean, mm-hmm. or you can do it by swinging left.
Which is what I'm doing right now.
So that's kind of what you're doing.
Yep.
So all we need to do is moderate out
club
path and
even.
then still doing this. But man, swing plane of 62 degrees, 63 degrees with 7 irons, great.
That's great, yeah.
60 degrees with 6 iron would be a benchmark. So so we're doing some good things. So go ahead and set up there for me.
Okay.
And let me grab something over here real quick.
I've been still really working on that takeaway, just trying
well, you have, and you're doing great with that. Now, the only thing I would tell you, go ahead and set up there, is we still want to feel on the way down that you're underneath this stick on the way back down. So on the way back, just barely under it, and then under it on the way down.
Yeah, and I'm getting more
that's
that
right,
way.
and that's where you're getting -9 on your club path.
Yeah.
So we just want to be underneath this stick here, okay?
Yep. There, that's a good feel. More that way?
Yep, so go ahead and hit it.
That felt better.
Yeah, it sounded better to me. See, we got down to -4.
Yeah, that's
so we cut that in half.
It's a huge improvement already.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
that's
right,
dead straight ball, shot. Really.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite ways to do it. Outside, if we were hitting balls, we could put this stick on that angle again and swing under it on the way down as well.
That's a good one.
And so that one works great indoors. I can use this basket and do that. The only problem with it indoors is because the basket's in the way of the TrackMan.
Sometimes, it doesn't read it.
Sometimes it won't read it. But if I put that there and tell you to swing under it, go ahead and don't think, just hit one and swing underneath that stick for me. We'll see what TrackMan says if it picked it up. Yeah, it didn't, but that'd
Okay.
be pretty good. You can see that started to the right.
Is it
you see.
common? So when I've done this on the range, I've noticed sometimes I catch it more on the toe when I come.
Well, that's because you're
That's-
so good. You're missing the stick, and
Yeah.
you're smart enough. Your body's smart
That's what I
enough
was.
to miss it.
I
yeah.
have a couple videos
So-
I've done of myself where it's like my swing looks good, but I'm off by about an inch, where it's definitely off the toe when I do that.
All right, so here's what you do. If you notice you're doing that, go ahead and address the ball. Not allowed to hit that towel either.
It's creating quite an obstacle course here.
There you go, but that's how you learn. I love obstacles. Things that are off plane and not hitting them. Ooh, wasn't that
That was
good?
pretty good, yeah. Did
You
you read
can
that
see,
one?
I don't know if it did. No, it didn't pick it up. Like I said, TrackMan won't pick
Yeah.
it up with the bucket in the way. But
Yeah.
that's a great way to do it. You
Yeah.
can see people watching with the camera from behind. You can see that ball flight. And
Yeah.
You can tell that's not starting left.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So
yeah.
that's awesome. So. Good. Look at that club pass. 0.
0, yeah. There you go. And then I'm just a little closed on the face. On
Little,
that
yeah, a
one.
little closed on the face, but
Yeah.
hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can tell even with that towel there, that flattens your plane out.
It does,
See,
yeah.
You see that? Yeah, you're down to 60 degrees.
That's good.
And that's one of the reasons why this gets better.
Makes
See, the
sense.
steeper that swing plane is, the more that's going to be left.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
These are hidden further too than even.
They are. That one you had carried 153. That's
Yeah.
a pretty good 7-iron.
Yeah, I'm swinging.
And you can see we were -7 when we started, and
Yeah.
we're down to -3.
That's great, and I know we've talked before. You want to be within 3 on either side. It's a pretty good
That's
marker
my
to be.
opinion. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as far as the club, one of the light bulb things that we had, we did a video actually. We talked about having the club path or aligning the shaft on your back line, on your toe line here, and having the club face parallel with your spine as you're set up.
Yes.
And then, which I've seen that before, but the thing I hadn't seen you talked about on the way through is also having this aligned with your shaft, your angle. I think sometimes when I watch my videos,
Absolutely.
I'm rolling too much.
That's that shot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's something I think I need to more consciously think about, keeping it more open as I swing through to match
More
that.
square,
More
yes.
square, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I know it's semantics,
Yeah.
but it's important. Yes, but it'll
Square to the
feel
path,
more open
yeah.
to you, but it's actually square.
Sure,
yes.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I guess that's, I think what it is as a kid I learned that old style where you rotate open and
That's
then
right.
My brain's just never let go of that
That's
rotate
how I
close
was taught.
part.
Toe up to
Yeah.
toe up.
And
And
in
there
the-
was a lot of forearm rotation.
Sure, and in the more modern swing, you're keeping this more square.
And less forearm rotation, less club face
Yes,
rotation.
which is great, but then you have to also do it here. You can't.
Now, from a history lesson point of view, some of that, I think it was probably correct to be toe up in the 70s
Sure.
and earlier.
Yeah.
The clubs were much heavier, especially the woods. I mean, they were made out of wood, had steel shafts.
Yeah.
And so, and I think you needed the forearm rotation to generate club head speed.
Makes sense.
And now that the clubs are so much lighter, you don't need that to generate club head speed. You still can, but then it's not predictable.
Yep.
And so nowadays with the clubs more forgiving, the ball doesn't curve near as much as it did back 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And because of that, the swings evolved into what the
Yeah.
correct fundamentals are.
Well, it makes sense that you're less dependent on timing if you're not
That's
opening and
right.
closing.
Absolutely.
You're able to just kind of swing through.
Yes,
so.
sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with the modern ball and the modern equipment, we can still get a great club head speed.
Absolutely,
that way.
yeah.
But probably 50 or 60 years ago, the best players couldn't, so they had lots of forearm rotation.
Makes sense, yeah, to generate
and all that.
speed.
Yes,
Yeah.
to generate speed. Yeah.
So for this, you think just try to get that feeling that as you're coming through, you're keeping
Yes.
square, which to me will probably feel open.
And you're doing it with your arms, not your hands.
Okay, can you explain that?
Kinda. It's a
Yeah.
hard concept to
Yeah.
grasp, but see when
yeah.
people so our hands job in the swing, I've talked about. Go ahead and let go there. I've talked about that before. But our hands, we have two jobs: to hold on to the club, job number one. Okay, especially if people are around you. Okay, hold on to the club, and then they hinge, and they hinge this way.
Yep.
So they don't go this way. They don't rotate like this.
Just up and down.
It's up and down. They're responsible to move the club up and down. It's our arms and our body turn that swing it around.
Yep.
But see, far too many people are trying to make this type of a motion through impact. And because of that, if they're really good athletes, they're going to end up like this, and it's going to hook.
Do that, yep.
Yeah. And so you have to learn, like one of my mentors and that I learned a lot from was Manuel de la Torre. He's dead now. He was a great instructor from the Milwaukee area. And that was pretty much the way he taught. You hinged your hands on the backswing and you swung your arms forward on the way through. And he called it the upper arms, from the elbows to the shoulders, and you swung that part of your arms, and your hands are literally doing nothing. They're just holding on to the club.
Yeah.
And I like that thought. And if you do that and you don't have a lot of grip pressure, that's where this lag's created, is that your hands aren't doing anything and your arms are swinging, and it leaves the club in your hands behind, and it gets these wrists
Sure.
in the position everybody's trying to get in.
Yeah.
And they doing it because the best players are swinging their arms and not their hands. So I like just to have the hands holding the club and have no focus whatsoever on anything of them, and that I'm trying to swing my
Let
arms,
the arms do the work.
to my heel line.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
Okay? Yeah. That's what I like. Sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
I knew that one was
straighter,
straight.
yeah.
I know. Look at there, -2 on the club path.
Oh, that's great.
I know.
Yeah.
Keep swinging. So swing your arms forward. Your hands are just holding on.
Yep.
It's all right. A little fat. That's okay.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a different feel.
Still -2. You see our attack angle. As this gets better, this doesn't get as good as it was
Yeah,
earlier,
and that's
but
because I'm not swinging left as much.
it is.
So,
It
yeah.
is. So. And so I would still eventually like to get to this path,
But keep
and
that
have
attack
that
angle.
at -4.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the major thing that contributes to that? Is that having the hands more forward
It
as you
is,
swing?
having the
Okay.
handle forward.
Okay.
See, that's the other misconception. Everybody thinks you're supposed to hit down on irons.
Yeah.
We don't hit down on anything.
Yeah.
Okay? We're trying to make the ball go forward.
Sure.
So the worst thing in the world to do is to go down. It's
Yeah.
not going to go forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So the ball, we want the ball to go forward, so the club has to swing forward.
Yep.
Okay? The club head, not down. But everybody says, boy, I look at the pros, they hit the ball first, and then there's a divot after
Sure.
the ball.
Yeah.
And so they assume they're hitting down on it.
Yep.
But that's not what's happening. There's two things that are causing that. If I have the handle forward at impact, like this, the club is actually shorter than what it would be if it was in this position. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
See, if I go forward, that's shorter,
Yep.
right? Because it's shorter, when this lengthens out after impact, well, it's going to get longer, and it's
That's
going
where-
to take a divot.
Yeah.
So I'm really not hitting down, but this club, as it's lengthening out
And your-
after I hit the ball, is going to take
And your
a
hands
divot
are just more forward so that you're bottoming out naturally
in
in
front of the ball.
Yeah.
That's correct. And that's what TrackMan shows us with our low point distance
Yes.
number.
Yep.
that make sense? Yeah. And so I think this is a really cool thing to keep in front.
Absolutely.
And it's almost an inch. So like yours that time, you were only 0.2 of an inch.
I'm basically bottoming out
you're
exactly
basically
at the
bottoming
ball.
out just like this at
Yep.
impact.
Yep.
But see, if I was bottoming out like this, now my bottom point's going to be out here where the handle of the club is.
Sure.
So see, wherever the handle is my bottom. So see, if my handle's this far out here, see, I'm not going to bottom out till then. And so we would like 3 or 4 or 5 inches after the ball,
Yeah.
somewhere in that neighborhood. So that's where that handle at impact needs to be that way.
Absolutely.
But like I showed in my flashlight drill, if this butt of this club points at this target line past the ball, I'm going to create that automatically without trying to hold it. The worst thing you can try to do is to create this position.
When I've worked with some other instructors, they had me doing the flying wedge drill, and it just always felt unnatural to me.
Well,
because,
it is unnatural.
Yeah, it's like it's just not at all like my swing feels.
I know, and I hate that.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about that before. Impact bags, I hate them.
Yeah.
And so we have to make a swinging motion,
Yep.
and we have to swing the club head, but we have to swing the shaft on the correct angle. And if I do that, pass the ball correctly, then I end up creating that lag automatically.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments on that.
Yeah.
But that's my experience over doing this for so many years, is the better you get at swinging the club correctly, the better you'll get at creating these impact positions
Makes
instead of
sense.
trying to force it.
So, with that said, do you think there's a particular way to try to work on that, getting the handle forward while still having that swinging motion?
Yeah,
I mean, the
with my
flashlight.
flashlight
Okay,
stick,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Okay.
And then, but you can hit balls this, after you swing the flashlight long enough, I mean, go ahead and set up there. I mean, you can try on the way down to still be pointing
Sure.
here on the way down,
Yeah.
and then release the club and hit it. And then, but see, that's how come doing these manipulations, trying to hold this lag, isn't correct, because I have to strike the ball correctly, but I also have to be like this after I have to be here already after I hit the ball.
Yeah.
And if you're holding on,
No chance.
you can't get here.
Yep. Interesting.
Understand?
Yeah.
And so both sides of the ball are equally important.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, and so that's why manipulating and holding these angles don't work. I had a lesson with a guy this morning, a really good player, and that's what he's trying to do, is he's trying to bow this hand and cup this hand and hold these angles on the way through, because he hits hooks. And so he thinks by holding this angle longer that it'll eliminate his hook. But he's hooking it more, and he goes, how come I hook it more when I do that? And I said, well, he has 100 miles an hour club head speed with a 7-iron, okay? So he's hitting 7-iron 190 yards, okay? And so that's a tremendous amount of speed. He's not physically strong enough. He's thinking he's holding these angles.
But there's too much force to do it.
There's too much.
Yeah.
This is 30 feet down here, and it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's going to go that way. And what happens is he's trying to hold this angle. It actually makes his arm go out like this.
Yeah.
But see, that's a break, and it stops everything, and it stops these hips from turning, and it actually
Promotes a flip, probably, right?
does.
Yeah.
It so he's trying as hard as he can not to flip, and what he's doing to try to not flip is actually causing him to flip more. And so I told him about Manuel, and that your hands don't do nothing and you're swinging the arms.
Yeah.
And man, he just stripes it. He goes, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm trying not to do anything and I'm hitting it straighter.
Yeah.
And I said, well, one of Manuel's famous lines was, you have to lose control to gain control.
That's
one of
good.
my favorite lines. And if you think about it, it's a pretty deep thought.
Yeah.
But it's really allowing the natural centripetal force of the club as it's swinging to square the club face up.
Sure.
And so if we're on the right path, then that'll happen automatically.
Makes sense.
I hope. That's our hope.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It seems like so much of the golf swing is unlearning bad concepts that you either figured out yourself or picked up somewhere along the way.
If you don't learn anything from me, the secret to this game is having the correct concept.
Yes,
It's probably true of anything, but if you have the right concept, you'll get better. But if you have the wrong concept, you never will.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I try to impress with my students. I just try to give them concepts that are fundamentally correct.
Absolutely.
And they can go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Read that one?
Yeah, little right, that's okay.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm happy to see that because I was intentionally trying to not rotate my arms over and just let the weight of the club do it.
Good, do it again. But we're still lots better, man. We're down to -4, and that attack angle was better. You left that a little open with the face, but that's okay.
That felt better.
See, that's better.
Yeah.
-3 on club pass, great.
Yeah.
And, you know, gosh, probably 40 or 50% of the tour players are somewhere around this -3 number.
Yeah.
And then the other half of them are a +3.
Sure. Yeah. And as long as you're fairly neutral, and probably the big thing
Just
is
depends your shot shape.
and be consistent so you know what to expect out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'd tell most of the viewers. This number here tells you what your shot shape should be.
Yeah.
So if you're consistently, for a right-handed player, minus on club path, you should hit fades.
Yep.
Okay? And then if you're consistently plus on that number, you should hit draws.
Yep.
And you shouldn't fight it if that's your
but
we don't want this to be really greater than 3 or 4.
Yeah.
If it's -9, -10, we have too big a dispersion. You go way left or you go way right. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So. Yep, -8, and you can see it's left.
Yeah, that one felt more, I can feel when I go left with it.
And again, that'd be the stick. And then still, we've done this before, but gosh, I mean, if I'm too much left, I can just stagger those towels.
Okay, and you miss both of those
and
towels.
And you miss them both.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to do it. And you'll watch, he was -8 on that last swing.
Yeah.
Let me see if I gave you enough room there with this forward one. I probably didn't.
Is this one, and that one looks good?
That was fine, yeah.
That's intimidating.
It's just a towel. You
Yeah.
won't hurt yourself. But you can see we went to +3. First time you've been plus all day.
Yep.
And so having an obstacle there that forces you to make a different swing is the way to learn.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to exaggerate things. It's okay. You should be able to go to +5, and you should be able to go to -5.
Yeah, yeah.
On command, you know.
Be able to control
that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with experimenting and exaggerating
things. I can feel I lower the flatter I get like that,
you hit it fat.
Yeah, I start to my low point falls back a little bit. I can feel
and
that.
that's normal. But see, we're down to +1 that time.
Yeah.
Okay, and that hits draws.
Sure, and that's hitting draws because of the path, not because my club face is so closed that it's.
Yeah, but it's because the path is more to the right, so the face to path is more to the left.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why. And that was still pretty good attack angle.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
For a +1 path, pretty good.
Yeah, that's still 2 inches in front.
But those simple towels can really do a lot of things and change how you swing. And for you, see, the closer you get to like this -2, -1,
Yep.
the more consistent you'll be.
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed as I'm doing this is I'm starting to forget a little bit about what we worked on last time, which is getting here. So I need to kind of do both
you
of
gotta
those.
do both.
Yeah.
You got to swing through those towels
Yeah.
and still finish over
I-
there.
I feel as
I'm
I'm-
not saying it's easy.
No, well, I've noticed as I'm working on this, I start
you
to
go
feel
that
like
way.
I'm flipping more
I
that
know,
way.
and
So
you
it's like,
are.
yeah, so I got to kind of keep
Yeah.
both of those in mind.
Yep, I agree.
It's challenging to do.
He'll probably edit that one out. Still not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So now take the towels away.
Let's see if we can do it without them.
Yeah, and let's see what we can do without them. I think that was good, huh?
It felt pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's solid.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good. And look at this. You were -12 when we started at swing direction.
Yeah, now I'm -3.
And so I kind of like to look at both. They should match up. Occasionally with really good players, the path will be pretty good, but the swing direction will be minus. So this could be like -10 and that'll be 0.
Oh, interesting.
And what it is, they're so good at manipulating their
They're-
hands at impact. They
Sweet,
get it.
yeah.
They get it correct at impact, but really the process of the swing's not correct.
Sure.
And what a lot of people don't know is there's only a couple things that TrackMan measures everything at impact except for a couple things.
Yeah.
One of the things is swing direction, and the other is swing plane. So those are measured from waist high to waist high. And so a swing, so I can manipulate the club head at impact to maybe get it correct, especially with a good player that hits a lot of balls.
Yeah.
But that'd be a swing direction of 0, okay, and a club path of 0. But that'd be a swing direction way to the left. Does that make sense?
That's more
and,
my-
and it would measure from right here to right here on the way through. But a guy, a really good player, might be on that direction, and then at the very end, it impacts.
Tweaks it to get to
Yep,
square up.
yep,
yeah, but
yep.
it's using hands.
It is,
Which is
and
less
then
consistent.
it's not consistent.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a pretty good thing to look at on TrackMan is, is my club path and my swing direction
Yeah.
the same, matching up.
Sure. Yeah.
And especially if we can get it somewhere between -3 and +3 consistently,
Yeah.
then it'll be pretty good.
That makes sense. How we doing that?
Yeah, once again, that's great. Okay, I know you chunked
That
it
one
a
just,
little.
yeah,
I know.
yeah, face got pretty closed on it, but
Right.
that was really more just hitting it a little fat, I think, and
It was.
the club taking it.
That's right. I could hear it, but it's still good numbers. Even though
Yeah.
I didn't hit that very solid. So.
That's funny. That one's pretty, I could feel that was much more left, just
Yeah,
in
good.
the swing. You
Good.
Know? Yeah.
Good. I mean, this game is still about feels. So
Yeah.
You have to learn what it feels like to do it wrong. And
Absolutely.
Feels like to do it correct.
I think one of the things that is tricky for me right now is that when I swing left, my contact is generally better because I'm getting that attack angle more down, which makes it feel better, but I have to compensate a lot for that by having the face really open to hit a
You do.
big fade to come back. So
You do.
it's not a consistent way to play.
It's not.
Yeah.
Good, I
That's a
really
little
like
better.
that. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, TrackMan's intimidating to some people with all these numbers, but
Yeah.
it actually makes it
Oh,
more
I love
simple.
it. Yeah. It's,
Right, I
yeah.
mean, you can tell if I'm swinging left, swing more to the right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
and that's what I mean by you got to learn what it feels like. I mean, I get on a couple lists that, teacher of the year and best teachers in state, but I'm not a teacher. I cannot teach you how to play golf. You have to learn how to play golf.
Yeah.
My job's only to help you learn faster
Sure.
than you could learn on
Yeah,
your own.
yeah.
That's my job. You can be taught math, you can be taught history,
Yeah.
but a motor skill you have to learn.
Yep.
And so that's what's so hard about it.
Yeah.
And so all good players will tell you they're feel players. And everybody's trying to take feel out of it, but that's a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to learn what it feels like.
Yep. Yep.
You have to know when it's wrong, when the feel's wrong, and you need to know when it's right. And that takes practice, but that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So don't be scared of it. That's what I mean earlier. It's okay. Swing 10 to the right.
And see what that
happens.
feels like. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Swing 10 to the left. See what it feels
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I mean, that is how you learn.
Yeah.
It's how kids learn.
Sure. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And so, I mean, if you're riding a bike and you lean over this far too far, you fall down. You learn real
learn it
quick
quick, yeah.
to lean the other way.
Yep.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
the same thing with the golf swing.
Yep.
So don't be scared of changing, and
Yeah, yeah.
don't be scared of experimenting.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
You
one of the
get
things
better.
that is tricky for me is when I go to swing to the right, I'm trying to not get into this territory where I end over to the right. And so that's where it's tricky for me to feel like I'm coming more in to out, but then finishing swinging around myself.
I
That's
guess.
been one
But
of the.
well, okay, so take the butt of the club and put it in your belly button. And then hold it parallel to the
yeah.
ground. Yep. So if I go back and I come through, now where's the club swinging?
Just
Swinging
right back
to
to
the right?
middle.
Okay,
Yeah.
it is to the middle, but where is it swinging when it's right here?
Well, I guess it's still going left eventually.
No, it's
right?
not.
Well, it's okay.
It's swinging to the right.
To the right
until I get to here.
and then it's to the left
And then
after.
it's to the left.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're not trying to swing to the right. If
Yeah.
I'm on the correct arc, it's a natural end-to-end swing. See, I'm trying to swing inside to inside. I'm not trying to swing inside out.
Yeah.
That's another misconception that's entirely wrong.
Makes sense. Yeah. You're.
We don't want to swing out to in. We don't want to swing in to out.
Yeah.
We want to swing in to in.
In, right?
And that's not easy to do,
Yeah.
but that belly button drill at least teaches you the feel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
And
good
so
one.
do you flip when you do that at all?
No.
Huh?
No.
And no flip.
Yeah. That's just.
So that's my body's job, is to
Yeah.
swing the club around. It's not my hands' job. And if I'm using my hands to go that direction, I'm always going to flip it.
Yep.
Understand?
Yep.
All right. Hit another one for me. Let me see you hit one hard.
Okay.
Good. Going left, I think.
Left.
Yeah. It's all right.
That
It was
wasn't
still
too
good.
bad, yeah.
Yeah, it was just probably still a little flipped at
Yeah,
the bottom.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's all right. I wanted to see what happened when I told you to hit it hard.
Yeah. That's what I recovering from. I hurt my side last
I know.
year, so it's that's always my body does unpredictable things sometimes when I try to add force to it.
Well, add force with your arms,
Yeah.
not your hands. See, that was better.
That felt better.
I
yeah.
know it was better. I can tell you that just by the
I
sound.
felt like I swung that more with my arms than my
Good.
hands.
You did. See how much straighter it is?
Yeah.
Good job.
So I need that same feel, but just
Yep.
getting
But
a
your
little
arms
bit.
go over there. See,
Yeah.
so here, where would they go in this drill? See, the arms go left.
Yeah.
But it's the arms that do it. It's not the hands.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing for me to work on is let my arms do more of the work.
Exactly. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, good job.
Yeah. Thanks.
Keep doing it. It's getting better.
Yeah.